Let's take a trip down memory lane and rank every LEGO Star Wars set from 2023, starting off with the Pirate Snub Fighter based off of the Mandalorian Season 3, and what was an underwhelming set to many. This is one that I feel a lot of fans could have gone without. The minifig wasn't anything super exciting. Yeah, it was pretty cool for the time, but looking back on it, I feel I would have much rather had a diorama or just gone without this set as a whole. I think that there were much better scenes or ships that they could have included for a set rather than the Pirate Snub Fighter. So all things considered, I will throw this set in the C tier. Disappointing set to say the least, but definitely not the worst one that we will see. Moving on to Yavin 4 with another disappointing set. Yeah, the minifigs were cool and there were a bunch of them, but as far as the price goes, I would have expected more from this set. It looks a little bare, there's not a whole lot of meat on the bones. That's the best way I could describe this. The watchtower slash tree seems a bit empty, and then you flip the set around to the backside and you have interiors on a lot of rooms, but they are very cramped and it's very small. And as hyped as fans were for the set, fans wanted this set, unlike they were asking for the Pirate Snub Fighter. Fans knew that this set was a prototype years ago and it never got made, and then years later we finally had something similar to that, and this just falls flat. Sadly, it's going to have to also go into the C tier. You're paying too much, I feel, here for what you get. I believe this set retailed for $170 off the top of my head. Just way too much for what you actually get here. All things considered, this set just fell flat of the expectations that the fans had around it. The N1 Starfighter with Mando and Grogu will fall into the B tier. Now, I'm not someone who considers myself to be a Microfighter fan, but this is one that I genuinely liked. Yes, it did include 2 minifigs, and LEGO decided to jack up the price on this, which then sort of sadly led to other Microfighters seeing their prices increased, but it wasn't a bad build. When you look at it for what you get, 2 minifigs, a solid microfighter that I think is one of the better microfighters that we've seen, and the only complaint is the price, but the build, the minifigs, everything around it is solid, so I will be putting it in the B tier. Ahsoka's 332nd Battle Pack is also going to fall into the B tier. We've had better battle packs, we've had much worse. Yes, the state of clone troopers at this current point aren't the best, but you know what? I still like the printing on it. I know the whole conversation around helmet holes and everything like that. I think the swamp speeder that you have with the troopers is fine. It's a battle pack, so it's not going to be the most accurate or the best looking version, but you do get some clones for all my clone army builders. You can grow your clone armies with the 332nd, the Ahsoka troopers, so I don't think you can be too disappointed in this set. Our second and final microfighter on the list is the Boba Fett Starship. This is going to fall into the C tier. It's just alright. I don't care all too much for it, and I could have done without it. And we have what my favorite diorama of all time is with the Death Star throne room. This is going to go all the way to the A tier. I love the minifigs. Yes, I know Palpatine doesn't have any pupils, but I think that Palpatine can get away with it. I think out of all the pupilless minifigs we have over the years, Palpatine is probably, in my opinion, the best one. I think the detail is fantastic. I love the window detail in the back. You have an awesome Darth Vader minifig. You have an awesome Luke minifig. So all things considered, when you think of the diorama line that, as of right now, it seems like it is done, this is definitely going to be one I think fans are going to come back on and say, man, I really wish I picked that up when I had the chance. It's just going to go down as a classic LEGO Star Wars set, I feel, over the next 5-10 years. We have our first of 3 helmets with the Commander Cody helmet. This one was in the Phase 1 version, so this is also going to fall into the A tier. I love it. Yes, the white and orange complement each other so nice, and I just think between the small sticker details and the angles they got with Commander Cody's visor is beautiful, and I really like the Phase 1 adaptation of this. In a few sets, we'll get to the Captain Rex, which was in Phase 2. I know many people were thinking, oh, why don't make both of these sets Phase 1 or both of them Phase 2, but I like having the change between a Phase 1 and a Phase 2. I think that it makes the fans happy, for the fans who like Phase 1 over Phase 2 and vice versa, so I don't have any complaints, and I'm happy LEGO went with that. Mandalorian Fangfighter vs. TIE Interceptor is also going to go to the A tier. This is one that people went out and spent $100 on, and a majority of fans only got it for one reason, and that was for the TIE Interceptor. And you're spending $100 on one of the 2 ships. So right there, that tells me enough that this set belongs at least in the A tier. I love this set. I thought the TIE Interceptor was awesome. The Fangfighter, what's the biggest complaint about this? That it wasn't shown enough on screen during the big fight on Mandalore that this is depicted off of, okay, yeah, but you still get a cool Fang fighter, you get 4 awesome minifigs. Everything you get in this set, I think it was worth the $100. I love this set. I think it's a classic. I wish it got more shelf time just because of how popular it was. The A tier is where it belongs. The D tier will see its first set with the Darth Vader mech, though. I don't care about mechs. I don't want to spend too much time on it. Darth Vader mech goes here. We don't need mechs in LEGO Star Wars. Just take them off shelves completely and replace them with literally anything else. Captain Rex's helmet, just like the Commander Cody helmet, will also fall into the A tier. This time it is in a Phase 2 version. The detail with the blue and white looks so clean, and this is something that I feel fans are wanting with other clones like Fives, Commander Fox, Gregor. There's so many clones that they can do that you could just build off of this. As popular as Cody and Rex are, there's other clones that fans like just as much, if not more. So with the helmet line back and better than ever right now, LEGO needs to strongly see how popular the Cody and Rex were and build off of that with more clones. So please do that. The Advent Calendar. Now, it's really hard to rank the Advent Calendar just because it's not one main build. It's a bunch of small minifigs and miniature builds. So I'm going to put it in the C tier. I don't have too much to say about this. Yeah, some are better than others, but they all primarily fall around the middle of the pack in terms of LEGO sets, just because there's always some good and some bad mixed in with every single one. The final helmet in the 2023 wave is the Princess Leia Bowser Bouche helmet, and like the other two, this will also fall into the A tier. This helmet is one that many fans consider to be among their favorites, and I can easily see why. This set is perfect for what the helmet line is. This is a classic helmet. It's from a classic scene in Return of the Jedi, and fans absolutely love it. The helmet line, now being basically revived in 2025, is making these helmets I'm mentioning even more popular, being that this was the previous wave, that we only have one helmet remaining from that wave with the Rex helmet currently on shelves. So I'm not sure how much the Leia helmet or the Cody helmet are going for on the secondary market right now, but if they aren't such a bad price, I don't think it would be a bad idea to pick one or both of them up if you are getting into the helmet line or if you missed out on either of these helmets. The Spider Tank, ooh, this was another disappointing set from Mando Season 3. The only good thing in my opinion from this was that Bo-Katan minifig, which was beautiful. Besides that, you're paying too much money for what I felt was a gray blob. So the D tier is where this is going to go. This set you also do get the Mando Darksaber mold, but was it really worth paying, I believe, what was it, $50 for a new Darksaber mold and a cool Bo-Katan fig? Not really. At the time, just go online and you can get those separately if you really wanted them that bad, but yeah, these Mando Season 3 sets just didn't do it for me this year. The Endor Speeder Chase diorama is one that I liked, I think, more than a lot of people did. It's going to go in the B tier for me. It had a lot of cool detail. I know there was a lot of talk about the minifigs not being the most accurate, but it does depict the scene fairly well, and I think that if you're a fan of Return of the Jedi, this is something that you need to get. Well, it retired now, but if you can find it for a half decent price and you like the dioramas, why wouldn't you pick this up? I don't mind the set. I know some people have some very different opinions on it. Some people love it, some people hate it, but I think I'm on the side of liking it more than the majority of fans. The Ghost and Phantom 2, a set that is actually retiring at the end of the year, will be the first set to fall into the S tier. You get some awesome minifigs with Hera, you get Jason Syndulla, Chopper, so all of that is super exciting. It's an upgrade over the previous Ghost that they released, and my favorite part about this is actually the inclusion of the Phantom 2 with the ship, unlike the previous one when you had to buy the Phantom 2 as a separate set. So the interior of this is a bit bare, but you can always modify it. But I still think as a display set, as a play set, Rebels is getting more popular. When Ahsoka Season 2 drops, this ship is only going to increase in popularity. So pick this set up now if you haven't already, because it's retiring at the end of the year. And the next time LEGO makes a Ghost and Phantom 2, it might just be a UCS set, which fingers crossed that happens sooner than later, because that's what I am really hoping for in the next 2 to 3 years. Speaking of a retiring set in 2025, we have the Executive Super Star Destroyer, another set in the S tier. Get this if you haven't already. It retails for $70, and it is a perfect version of what you would expect when you have a MIDI scale, or now called Starship Collection Executive Super Star Destroyer. This is the perfect set to bring back or revive the line that fans loved so many years ago. Now we have sets like the Home One, the Acclimator, Millennium Falcon, and so many more to come in future years. So this is a true trailblazer, I feel, for that line of sets. The Stormtrooper mech, the D tier, and we're going to get it out of the way. I'm just going to finish mechs because I don't want to talk about them with the Boba Fett mech, which I'm going to put in the C tier only because the Boba Fett minifig is really good. So that is the only reason this mech gets to go to the C tier, but Lego, please stop making mechs. Before we move on, I do want to also do the Tanu Jedi Temple set, which I'm going to throw that in the C tier. Minifigs are cool. Build, I don't really care about all too much. So we have all those sets out of the way. Don't want to spend any time really on those. But then we have the second 501st Battle Pack. Now, the OG 501st Battle Pack, as we all know, is going to go down as unanimously a top 3 Battle Pack of all time, to many the best Battle Pack of all time. For me, the second version of this is going to fall into the B tier. I think it's good. It's never going to touch the OG version. I think the minifigs are good. The side build is good. So the B tier is where it belongs. A nice addition to increase your 501st clones if you are planning on doing so. Then we have another Yoda's Jedi Starfighter. I believe the first version came out in 2013. And if you didn't get around to picking that up, or if you really wanted an upgraded version of that for whatever reason, this was the set to do it with. It's nice. The Yoda minifig is great. And it's just another Jedi Starfighter, which fans are always asking for on shelves, no matter which Jedi it is. So this is going to fall into the B tier. It is nothing out of this world, but it does the job and it looks nice on display, for play, whatever you are getting it for. Then we have the UCS X-Wing. Now this set has grown on me over time. If you asked me how I felt about it on release day, I feel I would have had it on the lower side of the B tier. But as time has gone on, as I've seen it on shelves and at my local Lego store on display over the years, I have to say it has grown on me quite a bit, and this is going to be an A tier set. I still do like the 2013 version more, but this is still a very good X-Wing. And the UCS TIE Interceptor that came out in 2024, if you also have that, these two sets go beautifully next to each other, just how the first two UCS sets ever were an X-Wing and TIE Interceptor. So 2023 we had this, 2024 we had the TIE Interceptor, so it's paying homage to those two sets. Then we have the TIE Bomber. What a classic set it is, beloved by so many. It has the awesome Darth Vader with the arm printing. You have the Gonk droid. Who doesn't love the Gonk droid? So I love this set. This is one that was a great addition to the May 4th promotion to be able to get some GWPs for May 4th. The TIE Bomber is going to fall into the S tier. Such a perfect set, and it is well deserved to fall into the S tier category. We have the May 4th GWP from 2023 with the Death Star 2. This is one that needed a minifig to be in the S tier, I feel. I just can't quite put it there, even though I love this set so much. It was a perfect GWP, but if it came with, say, a Palpatine or Vader fig, or even a Stormtrooper fig, it didn't have to be anything exclusive. Just an ordinary minifig would have done it for me to put it in the S tier, but it doesn't have that, sadly. I'm going to have to put this in the A tier. It's tough for me, though, because of how much I like it, and this is what a GWP needs to be. LEGO's been on fire recently with GWPs, most recently with the Camino Training Facility. I think they heard the fan demand from no minifigs with this set and said we need to have minifigs from now on. And if it took no minifig with this to get minifigs with the Trade Federation Troop Carrier and the Camino Training Facility, I am perfectly fine with that, but all things considered, I love this. The $200 buildable Chewbacca is next, and it's going to fall into the C tier. This is another set that if you have the R2-D2, the buildable chopper, the C-3PO, and you have them all displayed together, I'm sure it looks fantastic, but the Chewbacca has its glaring issues. The face just doesn't look good, it looks a bit goofy. I understand it was probably hard to get the detail down for that, but for $200, I still think for a set that I don't like how it looks, there's no shot I was going to be paying that. So I could see this being low B for some people if you have it on display with all those other sets. But for me, just falling into the C tier, and I don't regret passing on this set whatsoever. The Shin Hati Starfighter versus the New Republic E-Wing, easily an A tier set for me. I love this one. You get two ships that are different colors from that standard black and gray that we see in Star Wars. You get the IKEA Astromech droid, you get an awesome Balin, an awesome Shin Hati minifig. So right there, you get 4 great minifigs with this set. 2 ships that you could put on your display, and anyone can come by and say, oh, these sets are different than the standard Lego gray and black color schemes of sets. So right there, you get something that pops off your shelf a little bit more. You get great minifigs, and you get a great set well, you get two great sets, I should say, combined into one set. You guys know what I'm trying to say here. All things considered, an awesome set, and one that is retired now, but if you can find it for the right price, definitely get it. Ahsoka's T6 shuttle is going to be in the B tier. This set is also retiring at the end of the year, and it does include some nice minifigs, which are probably the main selling point for this set to many. The ship itself, I think, is fine. It doesn't blow me away. I think that one half of this set is nicely detailed, but the underbody of the set, Lego got a little bit lazy for, and they didn't do anything to it. Now, I know it's a Playscale set, not a UCS set, but I still think they should have jazzed it up just a little bit more because it feels way too bare, and you are paying a decent price for this set. Why not give the fans more for their money and just jazz it up a little bit? I'm not saying fully decorate the bottom and that other side, but maybe just add a little bit more color or a little bit more texture. I don't know, something that just seems a little bit bare for me, and that's why it falls into the B tier instead of the A tier for me. All things considered, at the end of the year, if you can find this for 20-30% off, or if Lego runs a nice sale on it at the end of its shelf life, definitely keep a lookout for this set because it is going to sell off shelves fast. The Coruscant Guard gunship, man, where do I begin with this set? Highly controversial. It is a very scaled down model. The inside is super cramped. The issues with the Fox minifig. With all that being said, this has grown on me a ton in the last few months, and I'm starting to have second opinions if I should go pick up this set or not before it retires at the end of the year. And one of the main reasons for that is because I don't know if we're ever going to get another Coruscant Guard gunship. While this is maybe one of the worst, or not one of them, while this maybe is the worst gunship that Lego has ever produced, it's still very niche with the Coruscant Guard gunship, and that is where my concern comes from. I want a Coruscant Guard gunship. This might be my only opportunity. And I do like the color scheme of it. While there's other things I don't like, I'm able to look past it. I'm going to put it on my shelf and I'm going to have it displayed. So I'm not going to really run into any issues with the interior being cramped. I don't know. I'm kind of just rambling on about that right now. But all things considered with the set, it's a little bit cramped. There is some minifig issues, but this has grown on me over the last few years. I'm going to stop my rambling right now and put it in the B tier for me. If you asked me about this 6-7 months ago, it would have been in the C tier, but over the last 2-3 months, it has definitely crawled up into the B tier for me, which might be higher than a lot of you have it. But you know what? This is my list, and as you could tell, it has definitely grown on me because I am sitting here talking way too much about the Coruscant Guard gunship. All right, we have the Holiday Diorama sequel, Millennium Falcon. I forgot the name of the set, the Millennium Falcon Holiday Diorama, I believe. And this is where the beginning of some sequel sets came back to us. Now we have the Kylo Ren shuttle, the Kylo Ren helmet. But getting back to the point, this was a cool set that released for a few months at the end of the year, and I think Lego needs to go back to the roots with this. And I know we have the AT-AT Walker holiday set rumored supposedly coming out at the end of the year, which can go back to this holiday theme. So I'm going to put this in the A tier. I really like it. I think it was something different that Lego did. It was a nice set that you could have gotten for a few months, which raised the anticipation for it. So it wasn't badly priced. I thought it was a fair price. So the A tier. And finally, arguably the greatest Lego Star Wars set to many of all time with the UCS Venator. Besides the controversy with the Captain Rex minifig, which in all honesty, doesn't bother me as much as it bothers others. This is an S tier set. Fans have wanted this for so long, and they finally got it. Now all I can say is I want to get more of these because I want to have a whole fleet of them. And my favorite part is how it's a flagship Venator. I know a lot of people didn't like that. They wanted the regular gray bridge Venator, and it's an easy swap, but are you really going to want to spend more money on this set than you are already spending with the $650? I don't know about that, but for me, I like the flagship Venator part. Those red markings are beautiful, and it makes it stand out even more. That's where I really fall in love with this set. So while this is one of my favorite UCS sets of all time, I still want to have another playset Venator at some point in the future, but this is my ranking of the 2023 LEGO Star Wars sets. So don't forget to let me know in the comments down below what you think about my rankings for the 2023 LEGO Star Wars sets. It was definitely a year of a lot of good and a lot of bad for LEGO Star Wars sets. I mean, you have sets like the Ghost and the UCS Venator, and then you follow it up with the Pirate Snub Fighter and the mech line, which we can all just do without. But it also had some funny moments like the controversy with Fox. Then you had the whole Captain Rex issue that followed with the UCS Venator. So a lot of interesting storylines that came from 2023 Lego Star Wars. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more Lego content, and I'll see you in the next one.